One's a former NFL star turned esports coach.
But I was getting the stink eye from my wife. She's like, "What you doing?" I'm like, "Nothing."
And one's a dad who can't stop playing Rocket League.
These kids these days, they're like, blah, 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 blah. We're used to jump and run.
Together, they welcome you to Ahman Green's Gamers Lounge.
Welcome into Ahman Green's Gamers Lounge. I'm your host, Ahman Green, and I'm running a little bit behind schedule. My apologies. One day that I get home, I get going a little late. I was setting things up last night, but didn't finish everything, thinking that my co-hosts John and Rico were going to tell me what they wanted to do on the show. And I was like, let me wait for them. I got enough time to get it done, but it didn't happen. So I'm putting in some of the last minute things for our show today. So my apologies. It's all good here. I mean, even got my background set on what I did for my students the other day. So that's the Nebraska Esports in the background. So y'all can see that. But I hope everything is well. I'm good. Like I said, just catching up. So it's going to be a good show. I have fun with things. I roll with the punches, and I'm gonna get right to it because we've been playing video games the last couple weeks, and things been going good. So I got a fun guest and a fun game because I used to watch the movies when I was a kid. I'm gonna get right to it since we're already behind the 8 ball on time, but go past check-in. Yep. I'm gonna get right to my man right here. Bring him in here, Ben Knapp, special guest. Hey Ben, man, how you doing? Apologies again for the late start, man. How you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. John's putting you on the spot today, huh?
Yeah. So yeah, just like I said, little behind, but it's always good. And we just started playing games here, and your pick was an awesome pick. When I saw you put Teenage Mutant Ninja
Nice.
Turtles Shredder's Revenge. I was like, oh, I haven't played it yet either. So I'm like,
That's awesome.
I'm gonna have some fun with this with you today, Ben. So let's get right into it. And then while we're playing, did you send me an invite or something?
Let me do that right now.
Okay. Yeah, because you've done this a little bit more than I have. So like I mentioned in the start of the show, this is Ben Knapp. He is an art director for High Res Studios. And High Res, we know this company. You know, a lot of us gamers, we play a lot of those games that this company puts out there, right? You know, we got what we got in here. Looks like we got Rogue Company. I know a lot of my friends play that. Smite, big game there. Paladins, popular esports title, college title that I say kind of started it all, really, when you think about it. You know, so that's what we're dealing with here today. Let's see what the chat is up to. What's up, Jeremy? How you doing? And Ben's getting all set up there for me. And I'm gonna wait. Oh, he sent the invite. All right, how do I find the invite? Oh, I gotta go here. Play a game. Boom. There it is. Play a game invite. Accept it. And then push start here. I'll press any button. So.
Let's kick some shit!
Oh, sweet. All right. Do I go to story or arcade?
I think go to story. I'll send you another one.
All right. It's in here. Got it. Back in the game. Which should I put it on?
Chill's good, man.
Chill. All right. So we got the heroes in the half shell going on here. Oh, they're just showing me all the how to play. Oh, I'm getting like the intro.
Yeah, I might have to go on you. It seems like if you just want to go through this session here, you can see if it's. I can join that.
Okay. Let me tab out here real quick. Otherwise, it's not making it simple for us. Launch game. Yeah, I'm already in the game. Oh, I should have launched it with you. Open on Steam. Already open. Let me, you know what? Let me go back out and then come back in and see what happens. Go. Tab out. I'm gonna escape. So I'm gonna come out of the game. Oh, there's party up. All right, here we go.
Yeah.
Weapon X. There it is. Boom. Accept it. Yes. There we go.
There you go.
Let's go.
Select your hero.
Alright, so I gotta pick my hero. I gotta go, what's that? You are Michelangelo? Oh, that's me.
Yeah, you might be. Where were you? Okay.
I'm gonna go Leonardo. That's my favorite color, too.
Turtles.
Alright.
Shells and
I'm gonna go with Splinter.
We must stop.
Hope the volume is not too loud for everybody. What's up, Pooch Gang is in the house here. We got our special guest, Ben Knapp, art director of High Res Studios. A lot of popular games. We know that title. So where we at next? Enter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully it gets a little flat. I know on your end it's like it's real loud.
Yeah. I'm trying to see. I'll tab out. turn down the volume just a little bit. There we go. Alright, that helps me out. Alright, okay. Are we ready?
Let's do it. Alright. Alright, so I read these stories, so I'll go back to the beginning for you.
Okay, cool. So as we're talking, what I usually do here, Ben, is first question on the list while we're going into mission 1, episode 1 here, jaw-breaking news. I asked my guests their gamer origin story. So what game was it? How old were you? And who was the person that introduced you to playing video games?
Oh man. So I think my first experience was my dad was like an electronic a long time ago, electrician guy.
Yeah.
And he worked at an arcade shop fixing arcade machines. So I kind of got exposed to coming in there pretty early. I think probably the first game I played, it was this Konami X-Men arcade game. You remember that one?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. So I was playing that when I was little. So that was like the main system got me started. And then as I got older, I didn't have a lot of money growing up. So like we would get some games and just kind of play those all the time. So like go out and do things. So yeah, I just was doing a lot related to Nintendo as a kid. I'm super into comics, so anytime I saw some sort of comic or something, I was in on that.
Okay. And I'm with you there. We didn't have a whole lot of money in the household either, so games came maybe every couple months. And I ended up creating a job for myself as a 15-year-old. Cleaning up, helping take out the garbage for the neighbors so I could buy video games so my mom and dad didn't look at me crazy when I asked for another game.
That's smart. That's smart.
You know, and it was a $10 a week job, and that basically got me once a month I could get a game because at that time games weren't $70 or $80.
Right.
They were $40 or $30, maybe $50 on the high end.
Right? People talk about like games like Demon's Souls, Dark Souls, they're hard. It's like Nintendo is hard. I mean, like you can be playing a Nintendo game for a whole month and not be able to beat it. That's for sure.
Yeah, that was Legend of Zelda, the Gold Rush.
Oh yeah.
And the Gyromite, the Rob the Robot. Rob the Robot was not Smash.
Did you have one? The actual?
I wish I did. I saw it at PAX East. I was just at PAX East.
Yeah, I had one of those. Yeah, they were really cool. I don't know how it worked though. Like I didn't understand it.
Yeah, he basically helped you with the board. Like you had to open doors, so he would drop the little anvil to open the door for us. And so who did you say it was again? You say your dad, right?
Yeah, my dad.
It was kind of my dad too who got me into, like he got me officially into PC gaming as a kid too. For me, I was 5 or 6. He brought a PC home and it was the Apple II PC. And fixed it, and I ended up playing Oregon Trail and Carmen San Diego. And I was a PC gamer. Then we had ColecoVision in the house for there, so it was all exactly.
Did you ever hear of Commodore 64?
Yep, I've heard of that. I had some of my friends in the neighborhood had it.
Yeah. Like small stuff with the arcade stuff. Yeah, he kind of was like, let's get like a Nintendo and like the Commodore 64 was like a computer. but look up your TV. It's really interesting. Yeah, and I remember Ghostbusters for that. There were a lot of games back in the day. I remember that one. Very supportive of my dad. It's just interesting. Like you know, I've been an artist. A lot of people have their parents not like encourage them to be artists, or even play video games.
Right. Especially back then when they first became
yeah, like wasted time, or wasted quarters, they're okay, what are you doing? We'll be a doctor or a lawyer. But I guess people you weren't so off, they're like, hey man, I'm always trying to do something, and you know, that's cool to me.
Right.
Love support.
And that was with my mom and dad too. What they did was they created a routine where, you know, I'm in elementary school. You know, I'm in that age. Same as you when you started. The rules was, okay, during your school day, you can, you know, once you get off to school, finish your homework. If you have football practice or baseball practice, go do that. As long as your homework is done, you can play video games during Monday through Friday.
Yep.
And then on the weekends was your time, you know, we knew that if I didn't have a game or maybe when I was doing baseball or football, if I would hang out with my friends, we would sit in my room and play all day. And my limit was, it was 3 hours. Oh, it was 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours. You gotta go outside and touch grass. You gotta go outside and play with your friends. If we were just playing video games in the house, you gotta go ride your bike or something. You know, go outside. Do that for the rest of the day until the sun goes down. And then after that, you can come back in, take your shower, and then you can play as long as you want. Basically, fall asleep. And I'm like, that's the deal. Kept my grades up, helped me focus on that, and I was in good sports too. I was like, man, that was the way to go.
That's the way to do it.
By the age of 13, 14, I had it mastered. What's that?
You press start, like go to SSD, and go to options, and then master volume. Turn that down. Put that volume down. And you could master volume, maybe knock it down to like 40, something like that. Yeah. It's hard to hear the music. So how?
Yeah, they trying to, you know, that's the game part of the game. So.
Yeah. Oh, dude. There's a part. Are you in the Nintendo?
Yes.
Okay. When you do the start fight, they got joined by Rayquan Ghostface Blaze. It's super high.
Oh, nice. Hey, Pistol, Polo Pistol. Sorry about that. And chat, sorry about the volume. We got the volume down now. Bear Fan, Crew Dog, how you doing? Haven't seen you in a while in the chat. I know Pooch has been playing the Call of the Wild. He's been fishing. Is that a fishing game? I can't remember. Oh, guys, Bebop here. Bebop is looks good. It's good to see these old games like updated. They still look the same, but they look a little cleaner, you know? I like it.
Yeah, this is great. I was like, I didn't even know what's going on. I'm really into it. I played all the films back in the day. And this is period. You can play Casey Jones.
Right. Oh, Casey Jones. That was my dude. What'd you think of the new, up-to-date Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movies they've done in over the last 15 years?
Okay. So,
the
Michael Bay song, I don't know if that guy just like wants to ruin my 80s love things. Like whenever I it's things like very like explosion and like kind of maybe too much. I really enjoyed the Mutant Mayhem one just came out. This cartoon.
Yeah.
That was really hard to
like Ice Cube as a voiceover actor in there.
I like
that was dope.
Yeah. Like modernized, I think, right? I mean, I've been watching since like the 80s and like the late 80s, and it could be kind of dated. I was gonna say corny, but I'll be a little respectful, you know? It could be a little dated, but like even when it did April, I like it, man. Like she more approachable, more relatable. It felt more geared towards a modern audience, but I like it a lot.
Yeah, I watched the Mayhem one too, and from that type of artwork, to the actors they had in, they definitely had their pulse on like today, like you mentioned already. And like to have Ice Cube in there, I was like, oh, I'm like, you're killing me. It's like I tell the kids all the time. I have my players that I coach, and when they buy the skins, I'm like, why are you spending all that money on something that's not gonna help you play better? I'm like, but when Activision Blizzard put Snoop Dogg in as a skin, I say,
you got me.
Like if somebody makes a game and puts Sir Mix-a-Lot in the game, I'm like, I gotta get it. I gotta do it. That's my guy.
Absolutely. That's funny. The whole livelihood in games is basically selling those kind of skins too.
Right.
Which I'm with you. I'm like, I won't pay for them, but I hope other people buy the ones that I make.
Right. And that's just right up your alley. You know, being an art director, art designer in a game. What is like? You kind of already touched it. You know, being probably 80s, 90s kid, motivation behind artwork. Because my son, he's an artist.
Oh, nice.
He's a little shy on it sometimes, but he is a really good artist. What was some of the early stages of you getting into drawing, and then how did you eventually get to where you're at right now? Like, what was some of the early drawings that motivated you? I'll say start there first with that. So what was your early drawing renderings of artwork?
So I mean, I try not to remember the early days because they always seem great when you're making them, and then you come back like 10 years later and you're like, what was I thinking? This doesn't look like this is super cool, right? I would try to basically I got comics, so I'm reading a lot of comics and stuff like that, and then I would just try to like copy the characters and stuff, and they'd be super deformed. But back then, I thought they were looking alright.
Right. Yeah. Well, I will tell you my artist story real quick. My wife is watching. I did some artwork in a class I took online one time, and I thought my artwork was like fantastic. And when I showed it to my wife and my kids, they couldn't tell. I mean, I drew. What was it? I think I drew a horse.
Okay.
It was either I drew a horse, but it looked like a banana, or I drew a banana that looked like a horse. And my mom and kids, you know, they were not nice to me. My wife and kids, they were not nice to me. I was like, hey, look, I didn't say I'm Picasso, but I'm trying to make things happen here. That's all I'm trying. This is my you know. But I understand the process, right? So what's your process when you get into creating a project? Because I have a lot of friend artists. I have a friend of mine he commissions with Marvel and DC, and he does good. He does Shredder. He has I'll give you his Instagram. I'll send you his Instagram account. And he's done Shredder. He's done Ninja Turtles several times. So what is your process in getting ready for your next project?
Okay. So traditionally, what I do, I come from I've done concept art, I've done animation, I've done rigging, and character. The main thing that I like to do is character art. So it's kind of like 3D modeling or like sculpting on a computer. So I also have a concept and a background. I'll tend to like, if I'm gonna work, I gotta work with the whole team and help kind of like manage the quality part of the art and what skins we're making. I'm on site too, so it's like what are the new characters looking like, how to manage the team getting start to finish. So it's a little less. I'm doing the actual IC work, which is the individual contributor. But like in my own pieces. I definitely tried to, let me help you out.
Oh, to revive, I did not know.
Yeah. I definitely try to like my own concept and just try to find something that I'm like really into. And I just sketch, usually it's a collectible statues, that's the kind of stuff I like to. So I'll usually like re-envision the character and I'll just do a concept pass for that on my own. And then once I've kind of like solidified a design I'm into, I'll just start working on a 3D model of it. And that's like super involved. I could like go into like hours of all the detail passes and all that along the way. Yeah, I go from 2D into 3D.
Gotcha. And so, what was one work, going through that process, was like one that you're like, oh man, this is the one. This is I put a good time into it. I refurbished it or I rendered it pretty well back, because you go from 2D to 3D, gaming sense. So what was that one artwork you was like,
it's not my best piece of art because I did it for work. Usually even when you do work, you have like deadlines, right? It's like these skins make like Fortnite or games. It's like you have deadlines because like people have to have out cash cycles, and you have to money launch for the game. So one of the things we've been able to do at high res on my games is crossovers with IPs, right? So one of them was Turtles at one point, which that was really cool to kind of wreck that. Oh gosh. So the thing that I did recently was like a G.I. Joe kind of crossover event. And so me and a friend of mine were able to kind of do most of the concepts and model a couple of those. I kind of don't think the model anymore because it's like it's a lot of work, and I've been a lot of things with the art direction. So it's kind of like I can't always make stuff all the time. So I got to do a Cobra Commander re-envisioning basically.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was super cool. It was a Cobra Commander and a Storm Shadow was able to do, but I was able to kind of like work with the guys at Hasbro to prove the updated concept that I did, and it was go in the model as well. I didn't do extensions, but I was able to kind of do a good chunk of it, and then that was probably the thing I was like most hyped about because it was, I care really about.
Ooh, right. Yeah. The ones that come from your childhood like that, G.I. Joe, Cobra Commander, Duke, or whoever. Oh my god.
Yeah. My whole. I call it a whole back cave area. I'm sure you appreciate that.
Yep.
I got a bunch of statues and collectibles. It's just all inspiration. But like behind me, I got some. I got some G.I. Joes back there. Yeah, big fan of that stuff. He-Man, Thundercats, G.I. Joe.
You're all hitting everyone from my childhood right now.
What's that?
I said you're hitting everyone from my childhood right now.
My man. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
They don't make stuff like they used to, man.
Yeah, they don't. I haven't seen it. And Thundercats, we're still waiting on like their movie, TV. Well, they did have a TV series on Netflix. I watched it too.
Yeah,
That was pretty good. But I'm still waiting for something big screen for them. Even Silverhawk. Remember Silverhawk?
Yeah.
Yes. People, that's 80s. If you're an 80s, 90s kid, you know Silverhawks. That was like right after or right around Thundercats, like towards the end of Thundercats. Their time on TV.
There was a lot of weird ones. But I'll tell you, man, I'll take that all day. Like kids these days, it's like Saturday morning isn't like a thing.
No.
Like just I'm like, that's a whole like culture. Usually get their cereal. They get like, okay, it's 9 o'clock. I'm gonna wake up early so I can watch these shows. It's like 12. Such a good time.
Right. Like you said, you would wake up, okay, I wake up around 8, 9 o'clock. I'm getting the Smurfs in. I'm getting the circles. G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe around 10 or so. And by that time, you're ready. You eat breakfast, and now you're ready to go outside and play.
Yes.
Or maybe play a couple rounds of Mario, maybe some Tecmo Bowl, 10-yard fights.
Tecmo Bowl, that was a good one.
Yeah, And then you can start your day as a kid. That was your business. That was your business as a kid, to be into the Saturday morning cartoons, and then you get with your boys, your friends outside. You be like, all right, What'd you think of Transformers today? What'd you think of G.I. Joe? I don't like Cobra right now. He's always, doing what he's doing, what Cobra does. So.
It's interesting because I was like raised on moral values of comic books. Like this is Spider-Man with power and responsibility.
Yep.
Like I'm a big fan of the X-Men. Like I'm all about do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. But man, I love some 80s characters. They were just the coolest. Like Skeletor? Skeletor's cool, man. Sorry. Like he's got a personality with his voice, skull face. He was funny. He was like attention, but it was always names he called him, and it was hilarious.
Right.
Megatron, sound, voice. Yes, Megatron. That dude was awesome.
Yeah, Megatron, he between his cronies, you had Starscream, you had, like you said, Shockwave. The only one you could trust was Shockwave. Or Soundwave.
Shockwave was good though.
Yeah, Soundwave was good. Shockwave was good too, but Soundwave you could trust him. But what's his name? Scream. Starscream was a little. He was a little punk. He was. Even though I wasn't a Decepticon fan, but I knew I got it. Like that's the good, that's the evil. They got to battle the Transformers there. So
I just feel like the villains had more interesting like personality. The good guys were like I'm doing the right thing, and it was always like they didn't go deep with their personalities.
Yeah,
like even though Starscream was a punk,
right?
He still had motivations that were like
he wanted to take over. He wanted to take over like Megatron took over. So.
Nobody out of Autobots want to take over Optimus Prime,
Right.
There's none of those things.
There's none of that. So let's do one more map, and then we'll get into the show and talking and stuff like that. They're on skateboards now. It's awesome. Oh, we got to pick up stuff? Oh, we got to jump over here. Oh, okay.
Man, I should have shown right in the stretcher level so you could have heard that soundtrack.
Oh yeah, the Wu-Tang soundtrack?
Yeah. When Shredder pops in, it just starts playing. Right. I'll tell you the level, man. You'll definitely keep playing this.
I will. It's not that hard. Like I'm picking up the mechanics pretty good.
It's like a 2-hour game.
X button, the Z button, the arrows. You can actually use the arrows. You don't need the mouse. I thought I would need to use the mouse on it. It's straight old school buttons.
Yeah, if you have the controller, it's even better.
Right. Oh god, fell off. Gotta jump over that. I guess we gotta jump over that.
They set us up with all those cones. Oh, Jesus. There you go.
I can't get these little ones. Oh, knocked him off the fight. Oh, what? He shot me. Who is the coolest person you met being a video game art designer? Oh, got run over by the truck.
That's tough, man. Because everyone's their own way.
Right, exactly, true. I'll say this. I'll reword it. All right, what was the one person you fanboyed over?
Oh, Joe Man. Absolutely, Joe Man. I don't know. Joe Man. So basically, let's see. He's in charge of this video called Airship these days. They did Wayfinder most recently. Darksiders.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He's the guy that like that's his art style, basically. He did Battle Chase back in the day. Did a bunch of X-Men comics. He basically one of the first artists successful at blending like American U.S. Western comic styles with Eastern like anime flair.
Oh, nice.
Dude, it's like and his other thing, you can tell he was still influenced heavily by art Adams and kind of like Western comic artists. But like as he got more evolved, there's just more energy in his work, you know.
Right.
I like Jim was another one. I don't know. He did like X-Men and he does like Batman stuff.
Nice. Yeah, you gotta have that inspiration. You know, when I was playing ball, growing up as a kid, my brothers told me it's like if you're gonna be a running back, for one, you depend on your linemen to get your job done.
Absolutely. Any sport.
Right, and it's a team sport. And if you're gonna follow somebody, get good off of, and watch this dude named Walter Payton. And I was like, okay, I'll do that. I'm gonna listen. Y'all know better than I do. I'm young. I don't know anything, and I did that. And as an adult, yeah, same thing. So you have those people like that motivate. You know, obviously you fan over them, but you know why? Because their work, what they've done.
Absolutely
motivates you to do what you do. You know, create inspiration.
That's right.
You know, for other people. Because I know you got fans. Too,
I'm just regular. I'm not one of these guys.
And that's what you got to do. You know, be humble. That's what I am. Like for my family, you know, some of my family members be like, "Man, you've done this, and this," and I'm like, "I was just playing football."
Yeah, just doing what I love, right?
You know, that's how I look at it. I'm like, "Man, I was just doing what I love." But you did this, and I'm like, "Okay," you know. But we got Bebop now. Oh, he has a big old monster truck.
This is the combo.
Yeah, we gotta get on this thing. We just hit the tires.
I think he's like close. And then he's throwing some bombs.
I was trying to see. Oh, we just hit the back. Oh God. What hit me? I don't even know what hit me. I just got. I'll keep running. This is
kind of a cheap date. You can't get too close. Yeah, tell me.
If you get too close, you're gonna get run over. I don't even know if I'm hitting it.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta revive you. How do I do that? All right, I've never done it. Oh, Control L. Control L. Oh. Dang it.
You cheese this, man.
There we go.
Yeah, I think like my kind of aspirations as an artist, there's like a level where the 2D side of things, which is definitely the GG Joe has inspiration. But then there's these strategies. And that came later in my career where I decided to go more 3D than 2D. And there's a lot of like really strong 3D artists. There's like I think Steady is a guy I'm a fan of. He was the art on God of War recently. Big fan of him. There's a lot of other artists out there, but I'm really flexible, and so I'm one of these two specific guys. These guys got Cherry Brothers. They're super awesome. And then Daniel Bell. I don't know if you ever heard of Sideshow Collectibles.
I heard of Sideshow. Yeah. But if you can see the Black Panther right there, that's Sideshow.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You know what's up.
Yep. So
you want to exit out of the game then?
Yeah, we can exit out.
Cool.
Let me see. We got Shredder popping up.
Let me
see.
Yeah. We can cut it here.
Boom, stop sharing there. Let me get set up again. Here now I could do the show.
All right.
So we've had a few questions in the chat. I know they were not too happy about the audio. Sorry about being loud, and I think you were a little pitchy because of the room air. That's all right. But we're notoriously known for that here on My Gamers Lounge. Hopefully we'll get a lounge that the sound bounces off the walls perfectly. You know, can't be perfect all the time. So, all right. So how long have you been with High Res, and what's that journey been like?
Oh man. Okay, so I've been with High Res for 17 years.
Oh wow.
I started
Feel
I
like-
started the industry in 2005,
I was
and
gonna say about 2003, 4, 5 somewhere.
Yep. And I worked on this World War II shooter at this company called AAA Interactive, and they're super great studio.
Mhm.
But like making World War II games 24/7, kind of like it's not very creative, because you're just like I like literally had like a Car 98. It's like a gun from back in the day, like
Right.
on my lap as I was like referencing it as I was modeling it. So I kind of had aspirations to get it's cool, but then
Right.
like your fan base is like the bolt on that Car 98 isn't 2 millimeters from the wood stock of the gun. Like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh my god, this is crazy. So I
Right.
eventually met up with some of the guys from High Res at a GDC, a game developers conference that happens every
Which
year.
was just last week.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right.
Yep.
That's right. They're like in the lunch line right behind me. I turn around. I was like, "Wait, you're in Georgia?" Because we're in like by Atlanta.
Yep.
And I was like, "Oh snap!" So they're like one of the only studios at the time. So I talked to them, and they were like, "Yeah, we're working on this like sci-fi game. It's Global Agenda at the time." But anyways, they were like, "We're doing lots of creative stuff over here," and I was like, "Oh my god!" Like, I loved my Tripwire team. They're the best, but I was like, oh, I really need to be more creative in my endeavors, right? So I jumped ship and went over there, and that was probably like 2007. I think May 7th, 2007. I think was the exact date. So I've been there for a hot minute.
Nice.
And the journey getting here, is like a lot of like art and stuff. I think if you want me to speak on that stuff,
Yeah.
I
Hold
think-
on one second. I gotta go do something. I'll be right back. Sorry about
absolutely,
that.
no problem.
Hate to do this.
Probably got some sort of dude at the door. Mail delivery, maybe. Is my voice sounding better? I just noticed that people are saying my voice is crazy. What's up, man? I hope it's not echoing and bouncing all over the place anymore. Okay, awesome. Yeah, sorry about the sound earlier, man. Like that game I jumped in there, I could barely hear him on. It was like it just like immediately was like normal voice, normal volume, and then like 10x that.
All right. Here we go.
There you go.
No more interruptions.
You're
Sorry
good, man.
about that.
No worries.
So 7th year, 2007.
2007. Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting before that, it was like I kind of was talking about like 2D versus 3D, right? And so there was like this generation that happened. I mean, you played like Nintendo, SNES, 16-bit
Yep.
stuff, right? Like
Yep.
that was all pixel based, and then there was like the PlayStation came out, right? It was like
Yep,
the minute the
PS1.
PlayStation came out, yeah, absolutely, dude. Like the minute that came out, that changed everything because it was like now stuff went from 2D sprite based stuff to 3D stuff, right?
True.
I remember playing, games that I love. Like probably there's also that era is like 2D versus 3D. Like Resident Evil, I played Resident Evil and Tomb Raider. I got a PlayStation when it just came out. Yep.
Yep.
So when those just came out, dude, tell me like how you felt the minute you see a dog jump out of a window. Right, you're playing 2D the whole time. It's like top-down Zeldas. You're playing like side-scroll beat 'em ups, things of that nature, and then all of a sudden there's atmosphere, there's music, there's like tension. Like, what the hell is this tension? I've never felt that before in a game.
And you talk about like Resident Evil, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Me and my older brother, we're out in California. I'm training for the combine.
Yeah.
In 1998.
Mm-hmm.
And we're playing Resident Evil, and we're jumping. We're like, oh my god,
yeah. Like you can't.
We're
you can
grown
only play
men
for so long, right?
Right. We're jump scares in the game, and we see it today. We're like, that was the game.
Yes. I remember, dude. So like, I remember for Christmas, I got this PlayStation. It was the biggest thing because we had saved up all our money. I've been working and stuff, and we got it. And then it was like, yep. So Resident Evil came out, and I was like, and this is the boxes were like the giant, like
Yes.
huge
I
box that,
remember.
like, what are you doing? The disc is like that small, but like just
So
empty
much
air.
space wasted.
Yeah.
So much
Like,
space wasted.
I at least felt like I got my money's worth, right? Like I could like knock somebody out with this thing. It's a giant box. So the box, you get that, and then there was like Tomb Raider I got too, right? So I was playing both those games, and like once I like gotten all that tension from Resident Evil, I gotta take a break. This is
right.
I'm like, I got to get sweat off my brow, man. It's too much. I lose take a break. Go to play Tomb Raider, and that game was amazing back in the day, right? There was a moment, it's like level 4 or something like that, and like the way that game was, it was like hard to know where you're going next because everything kind of the graphics all looked the same, and like, and then when you found out the actual path you were supposed to go, you were like, I really feel like I'm like a Tomb Raider. I feel like I'm Indiana Jones because like it's like that looked like it was hard to find that spot, right? So I go up in there, and I found this one spot where I felt like I was just jumping in the wrong spots, but like, you know, you can get to like the wrong areas of a game by accidentally like climbing on collision. Yeah, and you're like, oh, I'm able to like kind of cheat the system by going around this way, right? So I thought I was doing.
I'll tell you one of mine's or one of my nephews in a minute. I'll tell you.
So I thought I was doing that. I'm like climbing these rock walls, and I'm like, oh snap! Like I think I'm like not supposed to be here, but I'm just gonna see where this goes, right? But it was leading me there. Like I didn't know that, right? Like, but it was doing that. And then like I got over the last hike of it, and there was this big clearing. Like it was like all rocks, and then I jumped, and all of a sudden it like opens up to this giant cavernous opening, right? And I'm like, what the hell? And it's all like it's like, was I supposed to go this way? I think so. And it's all mysterious. The music starts to like kind of pitch a little, so my emotions again are like getting like again, first time I play games where I'm like, holy cow, like and this all happened right after playing Resident Evil. It was a Christmas night or some shit, right? So I'm just up all night playing.
Correct.
So I'm already high on emotions, and I'm like going through this, and I see this little fucking raptor come by, you know? Oh, sorry, I curse like a sailor. I'll try to get better. Okay,
hey, I'm used to that. My wife cursed like a sailor.
Okay, respect. So like, this little raptor comes by, and I'm like, what the heck was that, right? And then like the screen starts to shake. Right, and I'm like, oh snap! So the raptor was like the opening, kind of like, hey, there's dinosaurs up in here. But my brain, I'm like, I don't know how old I was, but like not very smart at that age, right? I didn't put it together, and it's like screen starts shaking, and I'm like, what the hell? And I'm like, oh my god! And then this giant T-Rex just appears out of nowhere and just coming after you, right?
In Tomb Raider.
Right?
Oh wow!
You go back to the cutscenes now. I mean, that made an impact, dude. Like that is a big part of that emotional kind of response. Was I was like, that and comics were dying off at the time. I wanted to be a comic book artist initially, but after that moment, and then I wasn't that smart, but I wasn't stupid enough to realize you should go down a path that all the artists that are super good are going to keep the jobs, and like Marvel was going bankrupt at the time. It was crazy. So I was like, I'm going games, but like. That moment was like got me into it. I go back to it now, and I'm like, I'm nostalgic. You know, I'm like,
I live in nostalgia. I live in it.
Absolutely, I see your
background.
Better
my day, I will watch Alien, Ghostbusters, or even Wildcats with Wesley Snipes and Goldie Hawn to make myself feel better if I'm having a bad day. That's and then
the day's already better. My day's already better just hearing you say that.
Right. You know? We do that. We have to do that. We're humans. We got to do that, man. That is
I go
awesome.
back and look at the clips now, and that dinosaur looks terrible. Like, why am I intimidated by that? That's like not good, you know?
I remember the first time I played Resident Evil, the original, and I played it probably like in the last 10 years, and I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Like, this was the game that had me and my brother jumping on the couches, grown ass men jumping from a character that is all blocky now. It's like, but at that time we like, man, this is so dope. Like, I think the zombie, you know, you got to reload your gun, you got to build your bullets out.
Where it's like the dude does the whole head turn, crazy man. We were born in the best generations. I feel like, not to hate anybody else's their opinions, but we were like analog and digital, like before the internet. After the internet.
We about that life, as the kids say. We about that life.
Yes.
I have a group.
It's appreciation, right? Because like you can appreciate where things are at now because you knew when it was a pixel on the screen, like playing like Pong or something like that. You know.
Like I got a group of friends. We were just at PAX together.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I had two new ones to the group. And we are all in a group chat. And when Marvel updates, video game stuff come out, we all posted in the group chat. And I say kind of our unspoken hero, our leader, our unspoken leader of this group chat. Shout out to Quentin real quick. He may not be watching, but somebody maybe relay the message to him. He coined that phrase. He said the 80s generation is the best. We experienced everything from the sporting world to the movie world to what happened in life.
Yep.
Michael Jordan, stuff like that. Video games became a thing, and you look at baseball and basketball and football. For me, I had my 49ers winning, Super Bowls, and people, like I said, were Michael Jordan fans, and it was just, and movies start from like Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi. That was early 80s, and going into the 90s, and then the 90s was the 90s, right? It's just like we had, from the video game standpoint, then you get Sega Genesis at the end of the 80s.
Ooh, love me a Sega, man.
And then you get PlayStation 1, 1995. I was a freshman in college, and like you said, I was going over to Blockbuster Video to rent the games. So people would send me. I was the sucker, I guess, the nice kid. I was like, what y'all want? They're like, oh, we need Madden. Like, we had the system, but not all of us had Madden. So I had to go rent Madden from the Blockbuster that was not far from campus here in Nebraska, in Lincoln, Nebraska. So I was that dude to go do that. But that was the thing, right? You had to go get the disc, get the cartridge, maybe wipe it up, make sure it's nice.
Blowing
blowing the thing, so just thinking about those days and those moments, not knowing that what we have now, right? You got PlayStation 5 that has a terabyte of memory. When we had memory cards.
Yep.
We had those things that differentiate between what the kids and the kids have now. It's like, no, if you finna have that memory card and you lost it, it was game over. You had to restart. It was like, that's not even a thought now.
Man, you know what I miss?
What's that?
Sitting at a couch playing with your homies, just like all together at the same time, right? Like everyone, like get all the friends over, like you're playing Madden, right? Like you rented that Madden game, but I bet your whole crew was playing with you too, in the same house at the same time, having a good time, right? Like now it's all online, and you got.
It's a little different.
It's. I mean, that was cool playing Shredder's Revenge, right? That was cool, but like it'd be a lot cooler if I was right next to you, being like, "Yo, this shit's tight, man," It's just different. And then you also have these weirdos that will jump on and just be jerks. That's in
the Discord or in the lobbies.
Yeah.
Call of Duty when I found out League of Legends is like the worst lobby to be in. I'm like, really? I thought a whole bunch of smart people played League of Legends. I didn't think the smart people were toxic too. I'm like, come on, man. That's like, you're killing me, Smalls. Like, oh.
Yeah, I don't get it, man. Like there's no reason to be a jerk, but some people, it's fun, I guess. I don't know.
You don't know. Exactly. We don't know. So what is, anything new that you're working on that you can talk about? Because I know how things, there's NDAs or until it comes out type stuff. What is something you can talk about?
Sure.
That you're working on.
Well, thank God. Like so I've been working on this game. So I've been on Smite for a while. I've worked on basically all the games at High Res, except for I don't think I worked on Rogue Company. I did work on Rogue Company like 7 or 8 years ago. It was called, I think we were calling it Kill Streak or something like that at the time. You have internal code names basically, right?
Yeah.
So like I sometimes I'll do freelance, so I get to kind of work on some projects that are a little different for just like funsies and stuff. So that's I can't talk about those, but like with High Res specifically, we were working on Smite 2 for a little bit, probably about, I think I started about a year ago, maybe a year and a half. It was about a year ago. And so I was doing art direction on Smite 1 since 2018. So like I've been on the previous game for a while. And then I got pulled over to Smite 2 last year, probably around like March 2022 or something, or 2023, sorry. And so that was kind of like, I couldn't tell anyone I was working on it at that point. So now that we're kind of in, we've announced the game as of January that we're doing the sequel to it. And it's weird because it's a MOBA, so what's a sequel to a MOBA? But like basically we're going from like Unreal 3 to Unreal 5.
Oh, okay.
Dude, I was in Unreal 3 since like 2005, and I just got able to move into Unreal 5. It's crazy. Like
That's a game changer, right?
It's such a game changer because like you're just held back by all the old tech and stuff. Like a lot of game studios, like Unreal 5 is like the thing to be on these days, but some games have their proprietary kind of engines, like Blizzard's, like World of Warcraft. That's like it's their own proprietary thing, right? And so like they'll make some updates to it, but you're probably gonna get the same level of quality, right? Like if they were to make a whole new World of Warcraft engine, like that just was way better. Like that was kind of the difference that I went from like all that tech that was just really hard to work with, and then all the new. It's you can do like crazy polygon counts now. The materials and shaders are crazy.
Oh my god! Yeah.
Even the workflow has changed like so much. I felt like I mean, I'm an old man, but I don't feel like I'm an old man. But I've really felt like I was an old man, like making these games where I'm like, hey, I worked on GTK Radiant, which is like the Quake 3 engine.
Yeah.
Oh, Adam.
What's up, Mertz?
The boy.
How you doing? Mertz, I hope he's the man behind the was it cover or like he's the Oz, he's the Wizard of Oz here of all. Helped out last few weeks with all my guests. So shout out to Mertz. Actually, we got some stuff coming up too in April to talk about here coming up for the NFL draft. So that's gonna be fun here. But I've got a question from the chat here, Ben. So my man right here, Kenneth Harvey Jr. wants to know, did you guys only do RPGs or what else did you get into?
Are you talking about like at high res or just like playing games in general or like making
I would
games?
say let's start with at high res and then we'll say for yourself.
Oh man, so yeah. I love RPGs, so I love that stuff. But like, it's really funny, man. Like, so Hi-Rez, the kind of studio that it is, like, there's elements of RPG that they try to bring into it for some of the older games, but mostly it's like first-person shooters, MOBAs, games like competitive kind of games. Like what we kind of like do is games as a service, where it's we try to give you this really fun game to play, and then we try to give you content to enjoy along the way. I think
is that the DLC added?
Kind of. It's like there's no DLC, but there is like those kind of cosmetics and stuff where people will buy it. So like we're always trying to build like new skins and things of that nature, but they get really cool. Like they're not just like cash grabby kind of skins. Like some are like things like tier 5s where they're like you get to become like 5 different forms across the match, and it's just really like, holy cow, I feel 10 times powerful because of the skin. There's definitely like, I'm not gonna deny it. I'm trying to stay. I need to be buying like my collectibles and stuff, man. I need, this stuff costs money. So we obviously make stuff to sell stuff, but we try to make it like fun and worthwhile. But as far as like the games we make at Hi-Rez, I hope no one from Hi-Rez is watching this, but I love the games that I work on, but I don't love playing the games I work on. They're not my game, right? Like I'm a
you got your
player.
games.
Yeah, I love RPGs.
You shouldn't get in trouble for that.
I love stories. I love that kind of stuff. I like with Smite. I love Smite's lore. I love that Smite allows me the opportunity as an artist to work on any type of genre based on the skin we can make, because we can make a sci-fi character. We can like skin, we can do I can do Cobra Commander, I can do a turtle, I can do like chibi stuff. I've
seen all type of stuff y'all put in that game. I was like,
and we get
doing that. I'm like,
and even with the limited resources we had back in the day as far as engines and stuff goes, we still pushed the limits, I think, pretty far, and it looked good. So but as far as like, do we do RPGs versus not, it's like not. I know people have always dreamed about like, man, it would be great if we could do an RPG version of one of our IPs. But our bread and butter is really kind of just like online kind of building like just play spaces for players to play competitively against each other. There's a lot of like, esports scene stuff and all that kind of nature of things. But yeah, I love me some RPGs, man. I mean, like that Final Fantasy VII remake, like that's
like the Final Fantasy is the One Piece of gaming. Like they have so many episodes of One Piece, and I'm just in the first 100 right now.
Oh man, yeah.
It's so many very Final Fantasies out there. What is is 15 or 16 or 17?
So like each one's their own thing, right? And so my first RPG experience was actually Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. And
I
like
was the
I
one
know
before that. I was the original Legend of Zelda.
Yeah.
Beat it and all that fun stuff.
I don't know if that one's like that's the thing. I don't know if like because we play Legend of Zelda 2, where it's like that side-scrolling Castlevania feeling kind of game.
I did that one too.
Link's Adventure. Yeah. I don't know if are those like considered RPGs? I'm not sure. Right? Like
they're
are
side
they?
scrollers, right? Yeah.
I
think it is because you're still a role. You're still Link.
Fair.
So I think it is because of that. You got a question here. Or are you done with your question or the answer?
Oh, I was just gonna say like the Final Fantasy VII, like the first Final Fantasy I played, which is like it's like most real Final Fantasy fans like, oh, you're one of those 7 boys that jumped on the way later and like got into the hype train thing, right?
Yeah,
that game got me into like Japanese RPGs. This phenomenal game.
Gotcha. I think I answered this question, but Jeremy, average historian, he helps me with my clips here. Said, is it because you're close to the project or not just your style? I think you answered it kind of already, which is good, which is kind of fair, right?
There's a little bit more to it. It's like these games, the competitive nature. Like I love fighting games a lot. I like JRPGs. I love story games. You would think like, well, you like fighting games. Why don't you like fighting against other people in like a MOBA space, right? Because it's competitive. And I like it, but the problem is it's like a time investment. Like I'm a dad, like I'm like an art director, so I'm responsible for like so much of a project. Like at the end of the day, if the project's not going in the right direction, I gotta work some late nights. If someone needs feedback, I gotta hook them up. Like it's on me to make sure everything's moving. If someone's blocked, like I gotta be the guy to unblock them and help them out, even if that means I gotta work extra, right? And so I don't get to do art as much anymore either. And so I would much rather spend my time like you ever do something where like you start doing something and then all of a sudden like 5 hours have passed, 4 hours have passed, and you're like, what the? It's like the flow state, you know.
Halo
That's
Infinite and Madden for me.
Yeah.
Or Star Wars movies. That my wife and kids have to sit through.
Oh, it's for
or they did sit through as kids. They're grown.
That's a good family you got, man. But man. I love doing art. I get in that state where I'm just like zoning and having a good time, and so like that's a real passion of mine that I don't get. I'm an art director, but like that doesn't mean I get to like necessarily do art all day. I have to help other people with art. I'm like more of a manager and a leader and like coach kind of guy, right? And so like what I look at is like if I was going to spend my time, it's like talent trees, you know. Like I look at like I'm going to invest my time as like say it's like World of Warcraft, and I got like these trees I can put my time points into, right? Which is like my experience points. It's like, am I going to put it into a game that I can jump into it and then I win or die or whatever, and I just play another one, and then I just do that with all my free time, and I'm like, what do I get out of it, right? Like it's a good experience maybe with some friends, but like if I was about to be playing a game by myself, I'm not gonna just like waste my whole night playing a game where it's like win a match, lose a match, win a match, lose a match. Like that to me, I'd rather invest my time into doing art, because in the art, if I spend time doing art. And anyone could be an artist, by the way. Like this is a crazy thing that people don't understand. Anyone could be an artist. It's just time. Like literally, like you just gotta spend time doing the skill sets, right? And so if I just put more time into my art, it's fulfilling for me, because I come into my day's over and my brain is like empty from like all the strategical stuff I gotta do. But at the end, my art gauge is full. I'm like got my art limit break is ready to like just unload on somebody, right? Just unload on some art. So I'm like, let me do that. Yeah. Let me go have fun, right? Do art. And then I'm also getting better at what I do. And sometimes it'll be like a passion project, or sometimes it'll be work stuff, but it doesn't feel like work to me, right? It's like, you know, am I a workaholic? Maybe, I don't know, but I love it.
No.
You know?
I mean, maybe, but you're doing what you love.
Right.
So you're doing one thing you love.
It's not that I don't hate the games. Like I said, I love Smite. It's just that I just look at like my time investment and I say like, I'd rather put it towards something I'm also passionate about that like pays dividends on that investment of time, right?
Yeah. Oh man, you hit all the bells and whistles for me right there.
Like I'm an old man, you know what I mean? Like I'm you know, yeah.
So like for me, it's like I get to coach. You know, I'm the director of esports. I teach a class where I'm talking about esports. I'm talking about video games.
Oh, you gotta be in heaven over there, dude.
Right. And so I'm like, sometimes I'm in my class. I'm like, what are y'all? I was like, I'm trying to pull questions out of them. I'm like, y'all boring. I was like, "This is video games, y'all." I was like, 10 years ago, there was no classes where you sit there and broke down Rocket League, or you broke down Legend of Zelda, or you broke down Resident Evil. Like, we're talking about video games, y'all, and we could get scientific with it. Like, what was the mindset behind Gyromite on the NES? What did Nintendo, who were the creators to come up with that? It's like, we're gonna create a game,
and then we're gonna make a robot,
and we're gonna make a
robot. It's a real thing. It does the whole thing,
right? And then what's gonna be the promotion behind it, right? Because I talk about marketing and promoting video games or esports events like tournaments. What's the promotion behind that you're gonna drive when it's never been seen, right?
Yeah.
At that point in time in 1983, nothing like Gyromite had ever been seen. So what is your marketing plan for that? You know, what are you going to tell the consumers that's already buying something similar?
So you're thinking the big brain moves,
right?
Man.
Big stuff, right? And I'm like, this is that class. Like, we're talking about this, and they're like,
people didn't even know how to market well back then,
right?
There was no Facebooks for like data analytics and like algorithms to like leverage how people buy things back then. It was Wild West, man.
Yeah, so I tell my kids that I think they're used to me saying it now, so I appreciate them for listening in for about an hour. Sometimes I just go down Fanboy Street.
Oh yeah,
I was like, I was just at PAX East and I saw this game coming out, and they got this thing you could put on your arm and it'll keep your hands warm while you're in competitive gaming matches, because that happens to pros, right? Their hands start to get cold.
Yeah,
in the arena, right? The arena's huge, and I'm like, what? That makes sense.
Yep.
Have a little glove instead of having the warm.
It's not a power glove, but it'll do, right?
Right. Yeah, it ain't the power glove. Ain't nothing on the power glove. Oh man. So to wrap up this video, a couple of questions I usually ask my guests, because especially where you're at, you know, fantastic journey. You described it, and you've been and been able to meet great people and fanboy on some, like you said. So what was some of the bumps in the road, and what did you do to get past them to continue your journey where you're at right now?
So like I mentioned how like I want to grow as an artist, and stuff like that. Art is like, first off, it's really easy to get into things like imposter syndrome or feel like you suck, especially when you like see someone that's been doing it for a very long time. You're trying to get into it. I would say to anyone in those shoes, like, you gotta treat art like a journey. It's not the destination. It's like getting there, right? Because it's always going to change. Like, AI is coming out now, and how does that affect what I do for a living, right? And how do I ethically use the tools in a way to enhance my workflows while not ripping other artists off? Like, I don't know how that's going to like play out, right? And then after that happens, what's the next thing that I have to like learn, right? I've always had to learn. So like, it's just enjoy the journey, right? But I would say you gotta have perseverance and grit, man. Like, cause like it is like a competitive sport, right? Cause like when I was in college, man, I was bringing up how I was like, I didn't have a lot of money. So like when I was like, I went to this school called the Art Institute of Pittsburgh. They don't have art institutes anymore. I think the government realized they were all like kind of like for-profit things, and they kind of ripped off students, you know. So like
that part, right?
Yeah, it was kind of skeezy, man, you know. But I mean, I love this. The school got me where I'm at, so I ain't gonna hate on it. But like, some of the practices could be like frowned upon. But
correct.
When I went into that, like, I didn't have my parents like that could like pay for my loans or anything. And I couldn't even get like there's like a thing where like your parents could like co-sign on a loan. I couldn't even do that. So I was like, I got to double up on loans and to get private loans. And so I had all this money where I'm like, I'm putting it all on black, right? It's like,
on yourself though. On yourself.
100%. So like my attitude in college was like, I wasn't like everyone else. They were all like trying to party and shit. And they thought I was crazy because I was always reading. I had read through all the books at the library on like the 3D software that you use, the 3D Studio Max is what I was using. I had already went through all that by like my first year, all the books in the library. I was always grinding because like my attitude was, one, I can't fail. If I fail, then I'm already come from a poor background, but like now I'm gonna go back to being like negative $70,000 poor. that's
Right.
game over, man. Like, I don't know what would happen if I had. So I was like, I had the attitude I can't fail, but then to help sell that to myself even more, I try to be realistic. I think a lot of people like romanticize a lot of things. I was trying to be like, you got to be honest with like the reality here. You know, like you can't. Oh, I'll just work really hard and then I'll get my diploma and then I'll just get a job. Everyone thinks like that, and it's like I was not like that. I was like, I'm gonna get out of here, even if I'm the top of class or whatever. I gotta be so good. This was the attitude. I would tell this to people, and they'd be like, "You're so freaking weird, man." I'm like, I gotta be so good that I have to take the job of some guy that has a wife and kids and needs to provide for his family, and he also has 4 years of experience on me, and I got to be so good that I can beat him for the job.
Facts.
It sounds cutthroat, right? And I don't mean it to be like that because I would never do that to somebody in that situation. But I have to be like honest with the fact, like I'm trying to get into a field that is getting more and more saturated with people daily, and there's people that have been there, and the jobs like. You know, you go on a team. How many teams are like? How many players are on an NFL like
53.
team?
53. That's it.
Okay, so like say
that's not a lot.
I know.
College, my roster was 90 or 100. It was over 100.
It's the cream of the crop, right? And so it's like, yeah, there's other teams, but like you think there aren't 50 people in each like state that has that team that wants to play for them? Like, how do you become that number 50? Just 53? How do you become that over 54? Right? So it was like I had like that really wild mindset, and I just always would try to like just keep grinding, keep hustling. And I always do it in a positive way too. I never like try to put anybody down, but I did stuff like this, right? So I had like no money, and so instead of like doing a job at I think I worked at a GameStop for a couple of weeks, and I was like, this ain't for me, man. I'm at school not to like go work a part-time job at GameStop. I'm at school to like study so I can come out and just take my best swing once I have a chance, right? So like there was people that didn't want to do their homework, and so I was like, I'll do your homework for like $10. I made it really manageable, low-key money, right? And I was like, I'm gonna buy $10 worth of ramen with the money I got from you. And then I'm getting better because I'm doing your homework. So I'm doing my homework twice, my homework and yours. And I'm cutting away the competition because you're not going to be as good as me since you didn't do your homework.
Boss mode.
You know what I mean?
That's all I got to say right there, bro. Boss mode. But that mindset you talk about, that was my mindset.
Yeah.
You know,
I had it. Looks like man.
I was in a team like, coming from, so I'm in Lincoln, Nebraska, where I play college football, where I'm from, just 50 miles.
This is your hometown where you're at?
Yeah, in my almost hometown. I'm from Omaha, which is only 50 miles away. But you talk about that mindset, that it's that blood in the water mindset. And when I got drafted, so here I was just getting fine-tuned at the college level. A lot of the teammates on here I still talk to today. We won championships together. We're a family, right?
Yeah.
At the pro level, though, was that what you just said? These are grown ass men. That if I come in there and take their starting job, to them it's like you taking my scholarship,
you taking my lunch,
you taking my dinners, my kids for my dinner. Dinner for my kids.
Yeah,
you're taking my kids' scholarship money if you become the starter. And so that's what I ran into, and that's what I tell the kids today. You gotta wake up. You gotta be able to get up at 4 a.m. and still be happy with your job, whatever it is. You videographer, you're the floor director, you're the event planner for the league tournament that you're doing over in Asia or wherever. You gotta be able to do certain things, and you wake up, and then at the end of the day, you're like, I love this job.
Yeah. You know? And then along the way, even though I'm talking, we're talking about like you gotta like. It's not being cutthroat. It's just being honest with the situation and being mindful of that. It's like, but you still got to look out for everyone, right? Because it's like at the end of the day, like if people needed help from me and they didn't have $10, and like I absolutely spend my time coaching and helping people that needed help because I come from a place where I wish I had help. I came from nothing, right? So I always wish someone would help me. And then I read Spider-Man. He's like, great power, great responsibility. You better like do the right thing, dude. Right?
Yeah, we're on the same. We gonna talk some more, bro.
Okay.
I'm here.
This is
that's why I picked Batman. I figured out Batman at 12 years old when I was right after I watched the Tim Burton directed.
Yeah. Michael
Prince
Keaton
on the soundtrack.
Oh yeah.
Kim Basinger, Robert Wall, Michael Keaton. I'm like, this is the only superhero. He's not a super.
Yeah.
And he gets beat up. He'll lose a fight. He'll get shot. But at the end of the day, he's still coming through.
Yes.
I said, I believe that.
And as well as him, he's like all the money in the world. So he ain't got to do that, right?
Right.
And he still does it.
Right. And he's like, he don't really have to do this. He could chill up in his mansion and let crime happen in Gotham or around the world.
Yeah, yeah.
But he chooses to go help people in need.
That's right.
And I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to help people in need. And, as a kid, I was thinking all that. But I'm like, I'll believe him before. Not that, I got a lot of friends that are Superman fans. I got a lot of friends that are Wonder Woman.
That dude got everything. He got every power. Dude could ice breath, laser eyes,
he can see through things. He can run faster than just
probably
Flash.
Some pervert, man, just seeing through everyone's clothes. Come on, man. All the wins, Come on.
But 12-year-old Ahman, I was so real. Was like, Batman's real. Like that's the realest of the real. And then obviously, as I grew up, I found out about then Tony Stark. I'm like, Tony Stark is real. He's just a genius that said, you know what, I'm gonna build me a flight suit. And I'm gonna fight crime. I'm gonna fight people from other planets and other dimensions. And so that's why I stuck with Batman.
Yeah.
And then T'Challa too, because
he's wild, man.
It's like I wanted to find that realness to how I could relate to myself, especially once I got to the league. And it's like I had to have motivation. I find it in Batman. I find it in Black Panther. I find it in the heroes that we watch. And because I was like, that's what people do. They look up to me. I'm a Seahawk. I'm a Green Bay Packer.
Yeah.
I was a Texan. It's like they're super fans. Like they think I walk on water. I know I don't. I was like, look, I'm not perfect. I never said I was, but I'm gonna do my best out in this field.
Absolutely,
with my teammates,
and you're helping your teammates, right? Like that's the thing. It's like helping people is a positive, good thing, but it also
all the time
comes back to you, right? Because then it's like, 100%. And that's never the intent, but like I work, I probably tangented way too far off from the initial question, but definitely like being a good, strong artist is important, and then making sure that you get your hustle on to get there, but then also pay that forward to other people because it's a team environment here, right? So I will absolutely, if someone on my team is like, hey man, I need some help with something, it's midnight for me, my kid's asleep. I'm
been there,
maybe playing a game. I'm like, all right, let's get up in the Discord really quick. Let's talk through some things, right? I'm a super crazy anatomy head, man. I got a bunch of these anatomy maquettes that go over here and stuff, man.
Yeah.
I'm real into that. I'm into design and all this stuff. So if I see someone that is struggling in that area and I know that they're hungry, if someone's there's people you work with that are kind of lazy or take advantage, and I'm like, I'll still help them, but I won't be here at 12 o'clock helping you because you sense it, you feel it, right.
It's a vibe they give off,
right? If someone needs help, I'm gonna just make time to help them because I give a crap about this team. It's just like the football stuff, right? You actually probably cared about your teammates more so. You're trying to make sure you're not number 54, right? You want to at least be 53 and stay on the team.
Be but like the Rock. If I'm 54, I'll go play in the XFL.
There you go.
Yeah,
get that backup play. But helping your team out, that's your team, that's your family, right? It's I don't know. I feel like you should always try to do the right thing for other people, just for that principle. But it does come back to help you, and it's I don't know, man. I didn't even want to be an art director, man. I didn't even want to do it. It was just no one else was wanting to do it, and I was I've been here long enough. I know all the people, I know all the tools, and I was what would I have wished? I'm here's my chance to be what would I have wished the previous art director would have helped push to make the quality bar better from a ground level up. And I was that's all I did. I was just all right, well, how about we just do this? Because I wish we could have done that back. And it's not even the other art director's fault. He had his own limitations and stuff. But my brain was where can we elevate, right? And so it was more about me jumping on a grenade than me wanting to get into the role, right?
I like the metaphor.
Yeah, because it's a lot of stress. It sounds I'm an art director. That's awesome. It's no, this is a lot of responsibility I take seriously, and it's it's a lot of getting kicked in the nuts all the time, man. Like there's always limitations where you can't do something. You're like, oh, can't do it, but like you still gotta be accountable for things. And you know, like, there was times where we had like leads leave the company, and I'm like, all right, I'll take their role for now, even though I'm not ahead of that discipline. I'm in charge of the whole ship, so I'm accountable, right? So like whatever I needed to make it all work, you know.
That sounds familiar. I mean, being an esports director, I'm finding out things.
It's all you, right?
I'm limited.
Yeah.
It's all me, but I got an assistant that I lean on, Ryan Tan. And he's esports. The good thing is he's a former esports pro. He plays some CS:GO, some Dota 2, some Overwatch.
Nice.
And he's a FPS specialist. He's my guy. He understands that part with mouse and keyboard and with controller. But yeah, at the end of the day, I'm calling my wife. We're like, and sometimes I gotta unload. You know, I gotta say, hey, this was my day. How was your day? You know,
it's all fun and games because you're talking about fun things and games all day, right? But it ain't all fun and games.
So yeah, it's like I mentioned with my class. Yes, that's the fun part. But yeah, it's like I gotta get that class ready. I gotta prep. I gotta make sure that I know what I'm talking about. You know, and if I don't know what I'm talking about, I gotta research it. To make sure it gets delivered properly. And then I look at when I say what I say in class, the students don't have this like what the hell you just say? I don't understand the thing you're talking about. If I see that face, then I'm like, all right, I need to go into more explanation here. I can see the blank looks, you know. And then when I start seeing the head, I'm like, okay, I can move on now. You understand what I'm talking about. So yeah, it's the title's great, but yeah, it's some grinding, but I know, just like you, I sound like it's in you too. And it is because your background, you have that grit to deal with it. You understand it, and it doesn't scare you. You know, it probably it'll piss you off from time to time.
Oh, dude, I'll tell you, man. If I see someone just like phone something in, I'm like, you're disrespecting me and everyone you work with when you do that. It's like I'm coming 100 with my game every day. It's like if you're not gonna be doing that, then. You know, I got like a side to me too where I'm like, I don't want to work with a person like that. I want to work with people like me that like want to they care about other people and want to, you know, be hungry and stuff. And then you also in the roles you gotta cultivate talent too, man.
Oh
like,
my God,
look out for opportunities to help people by letting them lead, right? Like you know, you're FPS specialist, right? Whenever there's some sort of event happening, you can take that chance to let him grow and have ownership of things, right? Like that's a whole nother part of my role that I take very seriously. That's not really part of the role, but I'm like, build leaders, man. You know, do that.
I'm laughing because everything you're saying, I'm pretty much doing. Like we're on the same mind.
We're in the same role and it's different.
We are there. Like we here, bro.
I got you, man.
Brother from another mother.
Absolutely.
We are here.
Absolutely.
Adam, you know, gave me a list of names. Your name was on there, and it's just
he's one of them too.
Right.
Real recognized real,
and
right?
that's why, game recognized game, Grandpa. Game recognized game. Like when I met Adam, from the first moment I met him, especially more in person, because when you're in person, you feel the vibe.
He's the coolest dude ever,
and
man.
People that don't pay attention to vibes, like that feeling you get when you are next to somebody. And you feel that vibration. You feel it in your gut. You feel it in your chest.
You get that aura.
You get that good aura. You be like, this is, and it works. Me and him, we start conversating like we were friends from the 5th grade. You know, between talking about video games, getting the production ready, and what time we got to show up to get ready. That was it, and you as well. So last question here, and I'll get onto the show here.
I won't ramble anymore.
You're good. This is good conversation. Great conversation. So. What's coming up for you in the next 6 months to a year? Because you're working on stuff. You have deadlines coming up. So what is down the line for Ben Knapp, the art director at High Res Studios?
Honestly, man, I mean, we're making this new Smite 2, so it's like everything's gonna be all on that. Like we're building the framework for the newest game, and I'm just gonna get my hustle on, man. Do everything I can to just make sure it's the best game for the fans. We already have a player base that's been playing it for like 10 years. So like my goal is to be like, you know, what's the evolution of that look like? You know, and you can't go too far because it's got to be with the game. You can't make like Halo not be a first-person shooter anymore, right? Because it's got still got to be what it is that brought people in to play it. But how do you dial it up so it's like that next level? You know, so that's what I'm gonna be doing, man. I mean, I might like moonlight and do like a anatomy one time I did an anatomy project for a guy that took a class, and I was I'm always taking classes. I'm like obsessed with like evolution and growth of like skills and shit.
Right.
But like I took a class with this guy Scott Eaton, who's like legendary anatomy artist. And like then after the class was over, he like asked me if I want to do like some scan cleanups.
Yeah.
It was for like Horizon Forbidden West. I didn't even know, you know. Not that I didn't really work on that game, but I worked on assets that went in the game, right?
Right.
So like that's probably the big thing I'll do is like I love to get into making some collectibles. I gotta do a little spinneroo whenever before we're over to kind of show you the office here. But like I would love to get into that stuff if I get a chance. But first and foremost, I gotta like rep high res all day and just make Smite 2 as good as possible.
Gotcha. All right. So you got a little time, or you gotta run?
Yeah, no, it's okay, man. It's okay.
You got time? Okay.
Yeah. I can go till 6. Or I'm sorry, 5 for you. 5 for you.
5 for me. Oh, yeah, we'll be done way before that. So
awesome.
Going into my next segment here, it is called Quick Hit News Bites. So let me get ready here. Boom.
I feel like I got to be doing something here, a little kick out of here, you know?
Right. So Quick Hit News Bites, man. We got some unfortunate news for a very, very, let me share my screen here. Let me reshare. So start it here. Unfortunate news for a popular streamer in our world that everybody knows of is my man Ninja. And I'm friends with his brother, Bearded Blevins. He streams here on Twitch. And the popular streamer on Twitch found out that he has skin cancer. And he talked about it at South by Southwest down in Austin, Texas. I think just last month or just a few weeks ago. And in line there, he said, I'm grateful to have people in finding this early, but please take this as a PSA to get skin checkups. Ninja, whose real name is Tyler Blevins, wrote that post. And that is something that I say, being a former athlete, playing a physical sport as I did football, that's something that among all athletes, especially former athletes, get checked. You know, make sure your body's there physically, mentally, emotionally, and then maintain. And so I'm glad he's doing that instead of, not saying nothing. I'm glad he's speaking out about it because he's popular, right? A lot of people know who he is, what he does, what games he's playing, what made him popular, where he started and where he's at now is awesome. I love his story, how he got from, being a Halo player and then going in and then having that moment with Drake, with Juju Smith-Schuster, playing Fortnite, and he was already there. That just helped him, that prepared him. But now he's dealing with life, right? Life is, as we talked about, we had a great talk in the questioning, but life is life. It'll throw you a curveball. And so this was actually one of my co-hosts stories. I have a couple of hosts on the show, John and Enrique. They couldn't make it, but I was like, I'm still going to share this because this is a guy I know, and I know of him, and I know some of his family members too. So to see this, I just say, hey, shout out to Tyler. Hope everything, it gets, you'll find out what you need to do and take care of it. And you're a strong person. I know he is. He's a grinder, just like all gamers are, and like we are as human beings. Some of us, like we were talking, Ben. And I just wish the best for him and his family on that note. So that is, just interesting when you hear and see that. You have anybody, that had to deal with cancer on any level?
Yeah. I've definitely, it runs in my family. I've had a couple of deaths from the whole thing. It's like it affects everybody, man. It's unfortunate that this guy's going through that, but like you said, hopefully this helps inspire people to be more proactive and like keep their eyes open for things like that.
Yeah, if it's something, he's 32, man.
Yeah,
32.
It's crazy, man.
I'm his older brother, basically. Man, 32, and I'll read a little bit down here. We know him as the popular streamer Tyler Blevins, known as Ninja, millions online, fans online, and on Tuesday he made his announcement, or he found out he was diagnosed with skin cancer, and in his post here it says, who is the most followed person on Twitch, said he is still in a bit of shock about the news, which learned during an annual skin mole check appointment with his dermatologist. And so he puts out there on Twitter, he said, all right, I'm still in a bit of shock. Want to keep you all updated. A few weeks ago, I went into the dermatologist for an annual skin mole check. that Jess that's his wife, proactively scheduled. So this is something obviously they've been knowledgeable of in their family. So proactively scheduled for me, and there was a mole on the bottom of my foot. They wanted to remove just to be careful. And then it says more, show more here. And it said, what else? Finish that. Just to be careful. It came back as a melanoma, but they are optimistic that they will that we caught it in the early stages. I had another dark spot appear near it. So today the biopsy that and removed a larger area around the melanoma with the hopes of that under the microscope they will see clear non-melanoma edges, and we will know we get it. I'm grateful to have hope in finding this early, but please take this as a PSA to get your skin checkups, and not just skin, but if you have stuff in your chronic illness in your family, that is what he's basically saying here. Beyond that as well is make sure you get yourself checked. Myself, I'm dealing from a double-headed sword here. My mom was diagnosed and passed away from Alzheimer's. My dad was diagnosed and passed away from prostate cancer. So that's why I'm very aware on what goes in my body, and how I take care of my body. Make sure between working out and dealing with stress, the things I eat, the things the people I'm around, I'm super aware of what can affect me in a positive and a negative way. So shout out to the Blevin family. Hope everything continues to be they continue to be proactive and things continue to be good.
That's a crazy one too. Like skin cancer is like, I get a mole on my face. I'm like, do I gotta be worried? Like I get, like as I'm getting older, like they appear, and I'm like, is that benign? Is that cancerous? Is like I don't know what you know what I mean. Like that's a really insidious one because like you just think it's normal. Like it's the little dot, it's fine, right? But like it could be something cancerous.
Yeah, and I got put on notice because in my wife's side of the family, she and her mom, her mother, her sister, cousin, not sister, cousins that were like sisters. But they all getting checkups, and that's all. I was like, really? I was like, a mole? I was like, really? I did not know that.
Like I know when I was a kid, no one did these kind of checkups, So it's great that people are doing it, but it was definitely, if I had not been more culturally diverse these days, I would be unaware of this kind of stuff,
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, shout out, like I said, shout out to Ninja. Hope everything goes well and
good
continue success in being healthy. And then we'll take it on over. Share my next slide here. Something here going over in the Rocket League area. So Alley is a online bank company, I believe. Stocks, I believe. They expand their Rocket League esports partnership to provide opportunities for women in the competitive esports space. So bank holding company Alley, I've seen commercials. Alley Financial has expanded their partnership with Blast operated Rocket League Esports to offer more opportunities. So 2 brands will collaborate to deliver 3 women-only and a co-ed event during the year, featuring a total prize pool of $75,000. And I think that's, correct me if I'm wrong, if that's euros. Next to that,
pounds maybe.
Pounds. There you go, pounds. So the tournaments will be held in North America and Europe, with Alley branding also featured across the main RLCS 2024 season. And it says, according to a release, Alley continued to invest in the scene as part of the company's plan to reach equal spending across men and women competitive disciplines, including esports. And so awesome. So following Alley's first esports sponsorship, which started last year in February, the company has created collaborations across game titles such as Fortnite, Animal Crossing, and Minecraft. So the brand will be featured across Star Showdown Chasers tournament series quarterly competitions that will crown the best women's team in each region, which will be kicking off in April. And additionally, Alley will gain a presence throughout the RLCS North American Open qualifiers, Copenhagen Major and London Major, and the World Championship broadcast. So RLCS is Rocket League's main official esports circuit there. So Alexander Lewin Senior Vice President of Commercial Revenues at Blast, commented and said, "We have some exciting plans lined up for 2024 as we look deepen our sponsorship with Ali by furthering and focusing on providing platform for women to excel in esports and gaming." Y'all, I love it. I love the reach out, and actually it's basically something I did back in 2020 because we had, the world felt like it was coming to an end, but it was just changing for the better. Things that, the stuff that went down with Activision, I kind of put this out there to like companies like, hey, do better, right? And if you could, so basically you are an influential company. If you have people that are buying your game day one, millions at a time, you can set the standard by doing things like this, especially, bringing the diversity, the equity and an inclusion part of women in gaming and people of color in gaming, and give them their time, to be successful, and give them that opportunity, because this is an opportunity to get young girls all over the world, playing a game that's very fun. I play Rocket League. I play it from time to time. I'm not great at it, but I love it. I'm like, it's RC Pro-Am. You go back to my time, RC Pro-Am with a ball on the race course there. So, and I see my Rocket League players play all the time, and I'm envious. I'm like, man, I said, I wish I could hit that ball and get it into the goal. I'm just happy if I just tap the ball. I'm like, that's game.
Run it next year.
We could just end the game. Game over. I touched the ball. Boom. Yes. So it's fun. It's phenomenal to see players play, and now to know that, which I already knew existed, was all women teams in the esports industry, but now to have worldwide support of playing tournaments and even co-ed. I love that too.
Yeah.
To all to young men out there that think that playing with a girl ain't cool. I was like, when
that's the coolest thing, right?
Right. When that girl's putting up more goals than you, balling out, you're like, okay, yeah, you better.
You gotta understand too,
progress, homie. Progress.
Absolutely. I think a lot of people, like, they don't realize, like, when they see something like this, that it's such a special thing, because like girls have to go through so much adversity.
Oh my goodness.
To even get into this. Like, imagine you're a little girl and your other friends are playing with Barbies, and you're trying to play like some sort of like video game, and they're like, why are you playing a video game? You should be playing Barbies, right? Like, they gotta be themselves. Like, I don't know if I've ever told you, like, just be yourself, Ahman, right? Like, no one understands what that means when they're young, when someone tells them to be themselves. But these girls got to be themselves that age to, like, really dig into this, because it's a competitive thing. So they got to be good. But, like, to even just start, you got to, like, kind of just change the whole script yourself. It's tough.
You got to change the script, because, like you said, even other young little girls are against you. I have women in our industry that when they were younger and they're in high school, they would play with their brother's friends in World of Warcraft, in Dota 2, and be the only girl, and they be dominating. But then when they got to school, they couldn't talk about it. Because then their girlfriends or their friends that were women or young teenagers would be like, why are you doing that? And it was like, hey, they like it. They love it. Turning it into a career. So it's like, so awesome to Ali, and I'm gonna be definitely keeping the tabs on this. And this article was over at esportsinsider.com. So thank you for that. I think that's, like I said, DEI is still big, still needs to keep going. Always keep the change moving, because once it stops, we already know we don't want to go backwards. So we experienced 2020. That was enough for me in my lifetime. I'm glad I could talk about stuff to I already got it. I'm already a grandfather, by the way. So when she gets to where she understands stuff like this, I would sit her down and be like, hey, remember I started, you were 4 and I put the switch in your hand. You probably didn't know what it was, but you were playing Mario Kart.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Appreciate you. I hope you appreciate me for that. So, and that's how, like, for my mom and dad, appreciate giving me those rules, those guidelines I had to live and die by, being a young adult, growing up, and I still use them today. And now I fine-tuned them and had, added in other things that I use now to coach. So all the day. So next little segment we got is a fun one. This one is a new segment, Ben. We just started this one in the last year. It's called The Best Thing I've Seen on Social Media. So
these are
on
great.
Instagram, on X, on Twitch, YouTube, we find me and my co-host, we try to find some of the whatever's funny. You know, if it's video game background or it could be whatever. I know the funniest thing is when you sign these the pet ones, like the dogs and cats. I mean, I don't think we have a pet one today, but anything with dogs and cats, like the cat one, it's the cat ones that's gonna make it on here. I didn't do it today, but next week or the 2 weeks from now, I'm gonna do a cat one. If you're watching the show, you're gonna love it.
Yeah. I'll stay tuned.
Man, cats are interesting, man. They get so angry. They do.
When you see them do some weird, like I have a cat, like my previous cat passed away like last year, so I got a new one.
Okay.
And this cat like was from the streets, so she's got a personality, dude. She's like so hood, but like, dude, she came off the street, right? I just got her like a week after they caught her, and I was like, I'm gonna give her a chance, and she's grown to us, but like. She's just obscure. She's an obscure cat, man. She sits. I'll have to send you a pic or some point. Like,
yes.
She's like sits down like I'm sitting in this chair right now. Like her butt was like this, and she's got this big old stomach that holds her up.
Yeah.
Couldn't believe it, man. I'm like, what? Why are you sitting like that? I came upstairs one time and saw her like that. I was like, this should be like America's funniest home videos level picture shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Or and also we got also heartfelt as well. So this post that I'm gonna share is from my co-host John. So let me share my screen there, and it is of a first patient place chest, and he is a patient of he's using a brain implant because he's paraplegic. So here we go. Get the video up, and boom and boom.
Like using the force on a cursor.
So during the live stream on X, Neuralink introduced the first patient to receive its brain computer implant.
I love playing chess, and
So,
this is one of the things
got an implant,
y'all have enabled me to do.
and he's able to
something
move.
that I wasn't able to really do
Well, I'll let
much
him
the
talk.
last few years, especially not like this.
So is it like his eye that's like the eye coordination, or is it like it's actually just?
It says who said he was paralyzed below the shoulders after a diving accident, directed a computer cursor. Oop, I might have to go back. Oh, God, it's just right there. There we go. Directed a computer cursor to play a chess game. So I think it might be the eye blinks, like you said, Ben. I think this is cool. Innovation.
Oh
right?
yeah.
I mean, console, Xbox, I know that has the adaptive controller for people that might not have a hand or arm, so giving people like you said, I was just talking on DEI, right? Inclusivity.
That's their
equity.
Thoughts, dude, not their eyes.
Oh, it is thoughts, because it's in his brain, duh.
Wow.
Let me go back and read that one again. Wired brain chip implanted in the 04 has helped paralyzed person move a cursor with only their thoughts.
That's pretty dope, man.
And we talking about what Resident Evil looked like in 1998 to now.
Yep.
Right. And we got this.
Yeah.
And John, if he was here, he's my guy where he's always bringing up AI and what technology is doing. Then we go down that rabbit hole of Matrix and
Cyberdyne Systems Model 101s.
There you go. So I'm no surprise that he found this article, and this is again awesomeness for.
This is great because it's like one of those positive things. Everyone gets so like scared when they talk about AI, and there's definitely a lot of scary stuff. But it's great to see like, look, there's good things too, like the innovation that comes from this. Because
it's not perfect.
This guy is going to have a little bit better life because of something like this.
Right.
It is like this is the end of the journey. There's still a lot of work to be done.
Yeah.
But it has already changed my life.
Nice. Awesomeness. Awesome world from the Wall Street Journal there. So that was just cool. Okay. We go from that to me being silly, because we usually do silly stuff on here.
I want to see some of the transitions, man. Where are those at?
here it comes. Oh, wait, let me share my screen.
Oh,
All right. If I could turn the volume. This is a little loud, so I'm gonna mute it. But it's but in martial arts style.
No,
So
I
there's
don't
Shalon,
like. I'm the guy who liked.
Fran, Drunken Master. Look at him. And Tai Chi style. Kylie, that's the battle stick, so something like that. Kung Fu guy. MMA guy, I love that one. Aikido. Why do you... Ninja. Samurai. He just touched the sword and the light turned on. Boxing guy. There you go. Karate guy. Like the music is good, it's just so loud. And then Wing Chun guy.
yo, I put a hole in my wall. How's he not doing that?
I don't know. I would have been with a hole in the wall. My old Eddie Gordo Texas right there. BJJ guy. Kickboxing. Way. Sumo is a great one here.
Oh, we're on repeat, I think.
Yeah,
No.
we are. We just started right there with Shallow.
I don't need light.
That was
I'm
wild.
the guy who liked.
So I was like, I saw that. I was funny. I was like, we all wish. I had that fight. I had that smoke before. But if you have somebody that's a good amount of blade, there's going to be a lot of people not want to
The volume is wild, man. It is so loud.
Oh, it's still loud?
It's still loud, yeah,
I
man.
thought you hear it now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good, man.
See, I don't hear nothing at all.
Yeah. It was just like I saw your mouth move, and it was just like all sorts of.
Because you did okay. I was not paying attention to the words you said because you did say something like it's loud.
Yeah,
And that's
yeah.
dealing with Instagram and dealing with the volume of the
Oh, yeah,
video to
dude.
video. You know, it's just me. I don't have the
No,
whole
you just-
DSLR.
You saw the whole like we just
Yeah.
played Turtles, and it's like trying to turn us deaf, man. Like,
Right.
what was that all about?
Right.
The
So,
volumes
yeah,
get crazy.
the volumes is interesting. So yeah, we swing it, we hang it. All right. Now heading into our, of course, we play video games on this thing. We play some Shredder. Oh my God! If you weren't here on earlier on the stream, we played Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Shredder's Revenge. Awesomeness. I'm gonna start the game when I get done with the stream. By the way, we'll be done here in a few minutes. We got a couple more areas, and I found the game of all games, and it comes out this week. As you see it on the bottom, South Park Snow Day. It's on everything. It's on Xbox. It's on PlayStation. A game I grew up watching. Actually, I was already grown up. I was a rookie in Seattle, and that TV show called South Park started in 1998. And then I met a kids named Cartman and Kenny and Stan. And I can't remember the parents' names, but they have a video game out right now. So like I said, it's on all platforms. And this is Cartman talking. I'll let it's buffering, so it's thinking so I can read a little bit.
He's like, no, I'll let you.
Yeah, so you could play as a new kid in South Park. You could join Cartman, Stan, Kyle, and Kenny in a 3-dimensional glory to celebrate the most magical day in any young child's life.
And when
Snow
school
Day.
is canceled and all the kids
All right,
are
I'll
free,
let
it can
Cartman
only mean
take
one
it from
thing.
there.
Game on.
New kids, find Stan and smash his army. And
Why they want to always hurt Stan or Kenny? Kenny always dies. We know that. So Snow Day, let's go, kid. Get in there. It's on all systems. And so you could play with 3 friends up to 4 co-op. What we were just talking about, Ben, right? The co-op gameplay from back in the day. And battle your way through the snow
kick him in
plow
the bows if you can.
town of
But
South
none of us
Park
could have known
on
that
a
a
quest
day
to
off from
enjoy
school would
your
turn
day
into
off
our
from
worst
school.
nightmare.
My spies, start your army gearing up for battle.
There you go. We got Snow Day. It's on PC. It's on PlayStation. It's on Xbox Series.
I'm looking for snowballs. They got laser swords. And
yeah, they got
all
laser
sorts of
swords
things.
and foul language, by the way. So just so PG rating. It's definitely over 13. It might be R rated. Because
Your spies? What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, a little bit.
they ain't messing around. The F bombs are flying.
Was it just boring
The F bombs are flying.
Or was it a curse placed upon our quiet little mountain town by a malevolent force bent on revenge?
At least, he's a look like a fairy with magic powers, Kenny, and he's alive. Thank God. Kenny always dies.
The game is young, my friend.
Right.
Who knows how the ending lands, right?
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know. We hope Kenny stays alive for the whole game. We hope, but if not, we hope he has a good role, like, you know, leading up to his death. He like has that warrior's death, basically.
You can't do that. Others used it as cover to seek unimaginable power.
You know what, Cal? I learned something today. You're a little bitch.
So our last hope lies with you.
Cartman is so wrong. Like when this series started in 1998,
nothing was like this back then.
I was like, hey, y'all. I'm calling all my friends. Hey, bro, do you watch South Park on Comedy Central? They like, what you talking about South Park? I'm like, man, these kids on this show, it's a cartoon.
Yeah.
They is saying, they like those bad kids that you see in the elementary schools today. When you walk by and you hear them kids talking and they talking crazy, these are these kids. These are those kids. And then I'm like, what?
It's super inviting because it's like a cartoon, right? So like the younger kids want to get on this, and then when the parents find out, it's like, whoa,
Yeah, I had to tell my brother years ago when or a
don't
family
know
member,
mom's around, right?
Yeah, I was like talking to a family member. It was either brother or cousin, and we're talking about video games, and he was like, "Oh yeah, so and so, you know, my son's playing this game called GTA." I said, "Hold up."
Yeah.
I said,
"You watched them go to the strip club yet in the game yet?"
I was like, I couldn't remember, like, because it was a brother, cousin, but I knew it was a family member, and I was like, well, I know so and so is about 10, right? They're like, yeah. I said, snatch that game out of their
That's a dark path you can go down playing stuff like
and he's
that.
like, what, Ahman? They said that it was a fun game. I said, no, they didn't give you all the business about that game. They said that get you to buy the game, bro. It's GTA, Grand Theft Auto. What you think goes into a game called Grand Theft Auto? And he's like, oh, you right. It was Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City.
Okay,
I was like, bro,
Vice City,
rob, steal, kill. You pretty much a drug lord, or you can be. You can do whatever in the game. It's the open world type style game. He's like, oh my God. I'm like, bro, how you not know this?
Yeah.
You did this to your child.
Yeah.
You know. So this is that game too, South Park. The computer is still buffering and thinking about it. So we got to move on from there. So let me get up. Go to the next segment. Last segment of the day here is... So that was game... Oh, shoot. We forgot to do game releases.
Release the game.
There's the game.
It's time for the game releases.
A little behind in the studio here. And then the last one of the week, of the day. Hold on. I'll do this first. Boom. What's on stream? So we break down... Well, I'll do the intro here.
Row, row,
I appreciate you, man.
Gently up sorry. Excuse me. It's time for What's on Stream.
So in What's on Stream, myself and my host, we pick a series to watch, right? That's part of being a gamer. You're watching either a movie or something on anime, something on these apps. We have Hulu, we got Prime, Netflix, Tubi. But on Prime Video, we have season 1 of Mr. and Mrs. Smith, the spinoff from the movie with Brad. Well, I'll say Brad Jelena because they were together when they made the movie. So Brad Jelena, Brad Pitt, Angelina Jolie. But now we got Maya Erskine and my man, Childish Gambino, Donald Glover, as the writer, director, and actor in his own new series. Bought it over. So I'm going to get the clip running here. So we're recapping. We're recapping the series. So we watched the episode, Ben. We're on episode 5. And it's not, is it gonna play? Play. Oh, it's playing. It's playing. It doesn't look like it's playing, but it's playing. And as you see in the title, Do You Want Kids? And Maya's character, Mrs. Jane there, Mrs. Smith, she's been really like cryptic about things, you know, because they're high spies. They're high level spies, and they've been slowly getting to know each other. First couple episodes where they made an agreement. I don't know if you watched it, Ben. I'm assuming
I haven't had a chance. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So since you haven't watched it, like they made an agreement in the first episode that they weren't going to have sex. They lived together. They worked together.
So it's like a job arrangement.
It's just a job thing, right?
Yeah,
and by episode 3, they said, forget it. You love me, I love you, or you like me, I like you. Let's make this happen. So now they are full blown in a relationship and super secret spies right now, killing people, accomplishing missions.
Same
together.
team?
Same team.
Okay. Okay.
Yep. So yeah, they're on the same team. And is this thing playing? Oh yeah, it's playing real slow. So it is playing. And in this episode, they're on a mission. Gary, God, I know his name. I just had his name down in my brain. The guy in the middle. He's their mark for this episode. So every episode is a mission. Their percentage right now is about 80%. So they about 3 missions. 1 mission didn't go too well. They didn't accomplish it. It was no death, but they just didn't accomplish their mission. So in this mission, they got to kidnap Ron Perlman. That's Ron Perlman.
Yeah.
That's Ron. I was like, I know I'm gonna get his name. It's gonna float back. He was Beauty and he was the Beast in
Hellboy.
Hellboy. You know, he's done great characters in the fan. You know, if we're gonna fanboy over anybody, we're gonna fanboy on somebody like him. He's done the Beast from Beauty and the Beast TV series and Hellboy, great series, comic book series as well. And so he's the mark. They kidnapped him. And really, it's more kidnapped him for his own safety, because as soon as they kidnapped him, then a hit squad. Here comes a hit squad trying to take him out. Or they're not sure if they just directly coming for him, but they're definitely shooting at Childish, or I say Mr. and Mrs. Smith, shooting at them as well. So they get him the safety, and he's like a tech billionaire in the series. So it's something with his tech on why they, took him to keep him safe from the hitman, the hit squad that tried to come kill him when they basically arrived at his house. Of course, he's like, "Why are y'all kidnapping me?" They put the whole gag and thing over his head. So, and then in all this going on, we got shooting, we got drive scene, chase scene, and then we got Mrs. Smith. She makes, and like I said, she's been real cryptic and sometimes we're kind of like a smart ass, where she's like, well, she says something to Mr. Smith, to Donald's character, kind of like, "Oh, I'm with child," and he's like, "Hold up, time out. What you just say? Are you serious?" And she just kept talking. She kind of ignored it and kept going. So you don't know. We're trying to figure out, is she pregnant or what's going on? And she did this earlier in the first couple episodes because they didn't know they were dating it or not. So that's where we're at right now with all this in Mr. and Mrs. Smith. It is interesting. So we don't know if she's with child or not with child. He's trying to figure that out because she's still shooting. She's still running and jumping. And as we saw in the last segment, the Kung Fu stuff, like she's doing Kung Fu fighting and all that. So that is where we're at right now. And they were in, as it says in the description there on the bottom of the screen, the ticker tape, it says Jane and John spend their summer in Lake Como, driving cars, dodging criminals, and chasing slippery Toby, and that's Toby in the middle, whose crimes endanger them, caring for the baby man. Did I write that? Put that right in there? The baby man makes caring for the baby man makes them ponder. So it's like, are you messing with me? He's like, are you messing with me? Are you pregnant? And she's just not really being, like, she really didn't say. She's like, She just kept talking over it. I'm like, hold up, you gonna be a super spy and then pregnant at the same time?
And aloof about it too.
Right, and just like, so, like you said, just so cliche about it. Like, oh, that's the new line. Yeah, being pregnant and being a super spy, all just the season. Yeah, so that's
my moment.
That's the end of the episode for. I mean, not the end, but that comes just about the end of the episode. It's like, are we gonna really talk about this?
Is the whole season out right now, or is
the whole season's up right now? Yeah, you can catch.
Cool.
It's only 8
I'll
episodes.
Start peeping this.
It's only 8 episodes, so it's a short season. And we're past halfway through it, but funny. Donald Glover, he's been and rap star and
Yeah.
actor first, and then a rap star. He was on Community.
Community. I think he did a lot of the writing on Community. I think back
he
in
did.
the day. Yeah,
he did.
Yeah.
He was a writer and SNL.
Mm-hmm.
He did SNL, and then now from his Atlanta, he wrote Atlanta. If you watch that series, which is fun, series 2, it's always he just does different things. Like he has fun writing and directing. I can tell because I know in some of the Atlanta series, he made my wife not happy because he goes way off course in an episode. Like he did one episode where everybody that was American was speaking French. And it just looked weird. It was something like that. It was something like that. I know I'm wrong. I'm just saying it was like
he tries things that are outside of the box, and like like he doesn't go with what everyone else does, and that's a good thing though, right?
Or what you're expecting in the series.
Yes.
Kind of like what you said with Halo.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you make Halo, it's
not
an
Halo
FPS,
anymore, right.
and you make it not Halo. That's what he does. He took Atlanta a couple episodes and made it not Atlanta, and I was like, oh, I see what he's doing. Like I get it. Everybody else, my wife was like, just change the channel. Let's start a new series. And so, him writing this into the script is now, making the woman character, Miss Jane, like, oh yeah, I'm pregnant, but we still got to go do stuff. We still got to fight crime. We got to go get our next mission. So what's your problem? And he's like, hold up. His character, Mr. Smith, is like, hold up. You're pregnant. We have guns. We have secrets.
It's not the right environment, right?
Right. What are we doing here? So that's where the episode ends. And now we got to figure out what's going to happen in the next episode between, if it is kids on board, are they still going to be Mr. and Mrs. Smith? I mean, they probably still will be Mr. and Mrs. Smith, but will they be fighting crime is what I'm referring to, though. So that's where we at there with episode 5.
Sounds good, man. I'll have to go check it out.
Yeah, that's why it's called Do You Want Kids? Yeah. Obviously, I've said all that now. And then we're at the end of our show. I didn't get a chance. What I usually do, like I said, I'm gonna give my co-host so a hard time when I see him. I love him to death.
We had a good time, man. But he missed out. That's his fault.
I usually get your social media. So share your social media with everybody so you can let everybody know where they can find you. They know what website you could potentially be on. Teams of where you work at. But what's your social media accounts where they can find you? If we got any artists in the chat.
Man, I'm terrible about the social media stuff. But
me too.
I think I might have an X account. I don't use it. What I really use is actually just like a thing called ArtStation. Like that's
the link that's at the bottom of your email.
Yeah, that's the main thing that I like. I think it's like artstation.com/ I think it's just Ben Knapp. Like that's like the main way that I socially communicate. Like, I mean, I'm on Twitter enough to like pay attention, but I'm not like on it really,
Oh man, social media.
For me, it just makes me feel bad, man. Like I see someone,
especially if X is so opinionated because
it's
everybody's sharing their thoughts, their opinions.
Yeah,
and my dad told me something about people and their opinions when I was a kid. So
it's a wise man. It's a wise man.
Yeah. So you're on X and ArtStation, and you said ArtStation / Ben Knapp.
Yeah. So it's artstation.com / and then I think it's just Ben Knapp, ENKNAPP.
Got it. I'll put it on, and I have a Discord, so I could put it in a Discord if anybody. But
that's my Twitter one. The Bear fans got the X account right there.
Bear fan is good. Bear fan, awesome guy. He's a Bear fan, as obviously it states, but then he does a lot of charity support and charity fundraisers throughout the years, like his job.
That's awesome.
When I retire, that's retirement goals right there. Where I'm sitting back and I do fundraisers for people in need. Like we go back to our old superhero thing,
Yeah.
So he's about that life. He's a good dude.
Good on you, man.
Yep. So he will help you out there on the account there. So, all right, man. Hey, thank you, man. This probably been my longest episode, but probably best episode too.
Oh, no, I appreciate you, man.
We on that level.
Yes.
We are here.
I see you.
Yes. And you know what I said before I even reached out to you? I told myself, going to PAX again, I was like, next year I'm doing GDC.
Oh,
next year, I told myself, because I'm like, I love PAX. PAX is PAX.
Yeah.
Right? You got new indie games coming out. You got
Mm-hmm.
the Magic the Gathering area, people that love playing D&D, and then you have the esports side where they're playing.
It's like your people, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
My people
yeah.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Absolutely. Yeah.
They did Tekken this year. Last year was Smash Brothers fighting tournaments. This year was Tekken 6 or Tekken 8.
8. Yeah.
So it's just my people. So now I was like, you know what? Let me get a little bit more corporate. You know, I'm not gonna be suit and tie though, because I know gaming.
Yeah, that's not what you do. If I go to an interview and have a suit and a tie, people are like, nope, don't hire him.
Right. That's
like what? It's contrary.
That's like, it's now NFL, when I was in NFL, it was all suit and tie. Now it's like I could wear this. I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah.
So GDC, that's destination for myself next year out in San Francisco.
That's what's up, man.
Area. So hope to see you there. We'll be talking now. We are pretty much friends.
Okay. I got that. I appreciate that, man. That's great. You want to do any more games? This kind of stuff, like at any time. If people find this interesting, you know, and your fans are like loving this kind of stuff, like I don't mind doing more of this kind of like you maybe getting even more in depth with things, you know, like you were saying retirement, like actually what I want to do when I retire is like actually like go to like a school and teach and stuff like that, you know, because I never want to retire, but I want to help people. So at some point, if I got enough money to like not have to worry about money, I want to do like more growing other people,
grassroots stuff.
Yeah.
Stuff. And that's where my mindset. When I'm done with all this, I'm gonna be doing that, you know, teaching what I've been teaching now, but doing it for no price or doing it for
pay it forward.
Pay it forward to bring the next generation, because there was kids, it was teachers, my parents, coaches, my family, brother, sister that motivated me to get me where I am, and I want to continue to, you know,
that's
like
awesome,
I said, pay it forward. So, man, hey Ben, appreciate you, man,
Likewise,
lot.
Man.
This was a fantastic show. I had a lot of fun, and I see you in somewhere, either Shredder's Revenge or some other game out there.
Yeah, let me know when you're ready to fight Shredder. We'll get up in there.
And we're friends on Steam now, so
all right.
There it is. So all right, y'all. Chat, appreciate y'all in the chat. Hope you have a great rest of your week. Today is Hump Day, so hopefully you get past the whatever started your week. If it was bad, it's behind you. I know I had a couple things go on. Now it's behind me, and I'm moving forward. You know, and Ben Bear Fan says Ben and I followed on X. Message me other socials, and I will add them to a bot.
You got it.
He has a
I
bot.
appreciate you.
He programs all his stuff and helps people out.
All right,
man. Thanks for hanging out.
Yeah,
for a few hours. I didn't think it was gonna go this long.
No, that's good. That's good, man. This is a good time. It
was all worth it. All right, man.
All right.
Have a great rest of your day, man. Appreciate you.
Later, chat.
There we go. All right, let me get out of here. Clicking off. We're ending up the show here. Everyone, man, I appreciate y'all having hanging in there for the 2. We've been long episode here, but it was good. To myself, this guy T'Challa, and this guy Batman. Oh, and then Crash right there. We're all out. Hope you have a great rest of your Wednesday, and see you next week. Oh, and we got my man, special guest Tommy Pham, will be coming in, who's been on the show before. He's been promoting his UBA 5 fundraising efforts, and we get an update on that next week with him being in the show. So giving you all that, and I will be out of here. So wait a minute, let me go here first. I got music, I got the dance pop.